Hello, everybody on the internet watching, and welcome to the kickoff of Week 5 of the Totally Normal Football League. We're in Michigan tonight as the Hellcats welcome divisional rivals, the Toronto Trash Pandas, to town. And on the line, if the Trash Pandas win this game, they will by default be the number one team in the division with a 2-1 divisional win-loss record tiebreak against the Hellcats. And if the Hellcats win this, they get themselves a little bit of a buffer over the rest of the division, with the Gators projected to lose against the Shitbirds later this week. But it's the Hellcats who win the opening coin toss. They have deferred possession, and it's going to be a chip cord ripper return that's going to start Doug Gongshow, quarterback of the Toronto Trash Pandas, just past the 20-yard line. Jim Ratt, the lone back, with a two tight end set. Jim Ratt's been on fire recently with the running game. He's going to start with a draw play, but he's going to get a stiff arm, but not get much further than the line of scrimmage. In fact, I think they're going to say it's no gain on that one. And this is going to be a big game for Jim Ratt. He is going up against the Hellcats running back in terms of stats, and Ace Ducey is far and above the best running back in the league. If the Trash Pandas want to win today, they're going to have to establish the run against this Hellcats front seven, as Brett Smarts gets stopped by Scott Colonel Pop, bringing up a quick third down. So already, what I just missed, Brett Smarts phasing through somebody. So already the Trash Pandas in a bit of spot of bother at their own 24-yard line. The Trash Pandas are going to need to make the most of every single one of these possessions. As Gongshow stands in the shotgun, Hellcats only send 3. And that's going to be roughing the passer on Dante Landros. So the Trash Pandas get a very lucky break there as the Hellcats bail them out of a third down. That's going to be 15 yards. Personal foul on Dante Landros, who've otherwise had a phenomenal season so far. And just like that, we are at the Trash Pandas 39-yard line with a fresh set of downs. A huge mistake for the home team. Doug Gongshow trying to throw it to a chip cord ripper stick route is off target, so we go to second down. Split backs for the Trash Pandas. Gongshow back to throw, in trouble, has to throw it early. He gets it to Ewan Corngrover over the 45. And Scott Colonel Pop has been the player to keep your eyes on the defense in the Hellcats over the recent weeks. That middle linebacker, number 57 there in the middle of your screen, has been phenomenal at not only stopping the run, but putting pressure on the quarterback when he decides to blitz in, as we have a Jim Ratt handoff, and who's there to stop it other than Scott Colonel Pop? As Jim Ratt barely makes it past the line of scrimmage before he's hammered down. That's going to bring out a punt. But yeah, Scott Colonel Pop, the Trash Pandas are going to need to find a way to get around him, because I fear if they can't establish the run, we haven't really seen Chip Cord Ripper or Andy Codplayer really pop off. Good punt there. That's going to be inside the 10 for Edward Gogo. Of course, everyone was going crazy because of the Andy Codplayer walk-off touchdown against the Stoats in probably Stoats last week in one of the silliest games we've seen in a while. But enough about that. It's Alex Fops and the Hellcats out now to begin the game. The Hellcats have been pushed to their 9-yard line, and Ace Ducey barely gets it past the 10 before he's stopped by Mo Wacko. So this is going to be another key for the Trash Pandas to beat the number one team in the over here division, the Hellcats. Mo Wacko, number 90 defensive tackle. And the rest of the Trash Pandas, they really impressed everybody in their game against the Stoats last week. And Robin Banks catches the pass. It's going to be a 10-yarder, and he's defended by Stanley Steak Sauce. More on him later. But it's going to be really up to the front seven of the Trash Pandas to not only stop Ace Ducey, but keep pressuring the quarterback as well as they had against the Stoats last week. And if they can do that, then Alex Fops is going to have to throw early, and that's disastrous for him. It's another shot to Robin Banks at the 35, once again getting inside of Stanley Steak Sauce, and that's sort of been the big roster shuffle news for the Trash Pandas between last week and this week. Formidable middle linebacker Stanley Steak Sauce has been moved to cornerback as we get a 2nd and inches play here. Ace Ducey receiving the handoff. He'll get the first down past the 40. As Mo Wacko is complaining that some holding was going on. He is so huge compared to that ref. Holy moly. That means Defensive Player of Season 2 winner Michael Hawes has been moved to cornerback number 2 as Flops gets and Steak Sauce with an interception. And man, as he shakes a tackle and has to be brought down by left guard Will Brickmortar. Oh my god, and one roster change from middle linebacker to cornerback, and Stanley Steak Sauce has his first interception. And yeah, Stanley Steak Sauce is one of those all-around insanely good players, like 90s in every stats pretty much, where he can be good anywhere. And Randy Straightcash, the former cornerback too, was not impressing Trash Pandas management that much. He's been moved to free safety as Doug Gongshow throws it to the flat tries to get it to meet four-man, but a second roughing the passer penalty for the Hellcats, this time on defensive tackle DeMarcus Bacon, and rookie mistakes happening for the home team. And another big 15 yards, and the Trash Pandas are at the Hellcats' 29-yard line. Huge opportunities afforded by the Hellcats here by the Trash Pandas. Meet four-man in motion. They're going to hand it to Jim Rad up the middle. Gets a big block from Ian Corngrower. That's going to go to the 15. It seems the Hellcats today are their own worst enemies, as the Trash Pandas capitalize on the momentum gained by a second roughing the passer penalty. Jim Rat in, it's an outside pitch play, but it is utterly crumbled to dust by DeMarcus Bacon. It was a power toss, both guards were pulled, and that allowed DeMarcus Bacon to basically get the tackle for loss for free. This is now a 3rd and 4, Doug Gongshow with an empty set. He steps back to throw. Hellcats send 3. It's over the middle. First down catch to beat four-man at the 10-yard line. That's Gongshow's 3rd completion in a row. They're going to mark forward progress all the way at the 7-yard line. So the Trash Pandas in sniffing distance. Bill Bonk in. He's audible to the other side of the formation. Brett Smart's handoff left side. Young Corngrower gets the block as the Trash Pandas get it to the 2. And Corngrower has been a great run blocking fullback so far this game. That's about the 3rd play now. I can say that he was the sole reason that the runner was able to get a bucket full of yards. Basically at the 1.5-yard line, full meat formation out here. Brett Smart's up the middle, and it's a touchdown. He barely breaks the plane of the goal line. And the Trash Pandas go up 6 here early. Yeah, Scott Kernelpop really tried to stop him, but Smarts just reached out his right hand and was able to barely break it. And that's all you need to score points in this game. It's going to be Tim Bencher out to kick the extra point. The kick is good. The Trash Pandas go up 7-0 here in the first. Now you can bet one of the Hellcats coaching staff on the sideline is berating the defensive linesmen of the Hellcats for their 2 roughing the passer calls. That's 30 yards worth of penalties, and the Trash Pandas were able to convert that 2nd penalty into points. And if the Hellcats want to defend their number 1 position in the league, They're going to have to avoid careless mistakes like that. Tim Bencher kicking it deep into the end zone. Ben Sports is just going to kneel for a touchback. And so Alex Fops will begin the drive from the 20. Alex Fops' last possession ended in an interception to Stanley Steaksauce, his first game as a cornerback in his long career as a Trash Panda. So Fops is like, all right, kid, I guess I got to respect you now. You got to wonder if they're going to rely on Ace Ducey more this drive. Ace Ducey on the counter run. He's got a lead block. He'll get about 5-6 yards past the 25. And who is it other than Steak Sauce tackling him down? No one in the league has more rushing yards than Ace Ducey. And I think if the Hellcats try to force the throw this early, I think they're just going to be in a world of trouble as we end the first quarter. The Trash Pad is up 7-0. Not necessarily a must-win game for either of these teams, but the Trash Pandas can really throw a wrench into this whole division and become #1 overall with a win against the Hellcats, at least in the division. The Janitors still, of course, 4-0. They're defending their streak later tonight. And Ace Ducey getting 2 yards. They're going to be 1 yard away from a first down. Give me 3rd and 2. Are the Hellcats going to rely on Ace Ducey for this first down? Yes, they will. They pick up a block, and Ducey's going for a lot of yards there. He's past the 40 for a first down and then some as he high-fives best friend Jeremy B. Ducey and B, of course, have a budding friendship that we've been able to capture a couple of times on the field this season for a couple of humorous moments. But it's great to see the two of them getting along, the two highest producers on this team. And it's Roy Burley in as a running back. He gets a good amount of yardage, nearly to the 50 on the counter run, avoiding a tackle. And this is what the Hellcats are best at, just chipping away yards with the running game and relying on Alex Fops' consistency, even though he does throw 2 interceptions a game. Hopefully he got his 1 interception out of the way early as Roy Burley is stopped about just to the line of scrimmage, no gain on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 3. So this is going to be borderline with the Trash Pandas stacking up the box as much as they are right now. Are they going to hand it off to Roy Burley? This saves like prime play action. No, they are going to give it to Roy Burley, and the Trash Pandas are all over it. That one being stopped by Brian Bealey. And the Hellcats are going to have to punt. So this is the best possible start for the Trash Pandas that you could possibly ask for. There's Richard stretch pull. Out to try and punt. Chip Cord Ripper back deep to return. This one's just going to be a line drive. The Hellcats just opting to get a touchback here. And what the heck is going on? I twigged Devin Childs in that Hellcat. What was that? Two of them were roughhousing. Alright, the Trash Pandas have all the momentum so far in this game. Now the question is, can they keep it? The Hellcats, with a good 3 and out, can sort of reverse the flow of things. And what a catch by Ewan Corngrower. I thought that was going to get intercepted for sure. Not a lot of yards on that catch, but it repairs the broken play. Barely a yard. It's still saying 2nd and 10. The Trash Pandas a hair over the 20-yard line. Jim Ratt is back, but it's going to be a pass play. Hellcats send 5, and he throws an interception to Scott Colonel Pop, who was covering Jim Ratt, breaks a tackle, pick 6 for the best linebacker possibly in the league, and doggone show's pissed at himself. I told you, if you're going to have your eyes on one player on the Hellcats this game, it's going to be Scott Colonel Pop, and he's had a couple of fantastic run stops, and he even nabs himself a pick 6 playing man coverage against the running back. An incredible defensive play is going to bring this to a tie game pending the Ben Cowjet extra point kick. And the kick is good, and the Hellcats get their first pick 6 of the season. Now Doug Gongshow barely had any time to think about what happened there before he has to come back out with the offense. And man, this is a deep kick from Ben Cowjet. And yeah, Cord Ripper is just going to kneel for a touchback. So Doug Gongshow is going to resume his drive at the 20. Scott Kernelpop is now enemy number 1. However, on the sides, you've still got Kevin Garbo and Jonathan Biggs Grande. A lot of scary reasons to not pass here, but Doug Gongshow is going to try anyways. An incompletion will bring us to second down. Jim Rat and Young Corn Grower together in the I formation. Meet 4-man on the move. Lots of Hellcats in the tackle box, but Jim Rat's going to run it right up the middle for a 5-yard gain to the 35-yard line. Make that the 25, sorry. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5, so Gongshow will have to throw it here. Although he's lined up in the I formation with 2 tight ends, so what do I know? This Gongshow back to throw over the middle. It's caught by Corner. That is Chip Cord Ripper. Yes, for a first down on the quick slant. That pass complete to the 34-yard line. Full house formation for the Trash Pandas. The rare meat 4-man handoff. No, it's going to be Jim Rat up the A gap, and that's going to be past the 40 for a good run. Second down at the 42. 2 tight ends and Jim Rat behind the Trash Pandas. It's going to be an outside pitch. Jim Rat picks up a block. First down past the 45. Nearly to the 50. It's Kyler Borscht on the stop. "20 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. The Trash Pandas are going to squeeze out one more play before then to try and get over the 50 into enemy territory. Gongshow is going to do it through the air. And that's tipped away by Scott Kernelpop. And I thought that was going to be an interception. It was a bullet pass to a crossing route over the middle of the field, but the AI just did not see Kernelpop just standing underneath. That could have been the second interception for the middle linebacker today. So the incompletion is going to stop the clock at 2 minutes 10. Chip Cord Ripper in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Brett Smarts. He gets it past the 50. And we hit the 2-minute warning here in the second quarter. Six yards to go for a first down on this third down try. 1 minute and 52 seconds on the clock. I formation for the Trash Pandas. Gongshow back to throw over the middle. Gets Cod Player on a comeback route, but is thrown behind the sticks. And Kevin Garbo gets the stop. So Tim Bencher is a great kicker, but I think he's too far away for this one. And yeah, the Trash Pandas are not going to give the Hellcats great field position with only 1 minute and 35 seconds to go and counting. They're just going to get Edward Gogo out to, punt a touchback or perhaps make some magic happen to get him inside the 20. The Trash Pandas is going to eat up as much clock as they can. So they probably won't snap it for another 7 seconds. There he goes. 5 left on the play clock. Gogo punts it to the left side of the field, and that's out of bounds. I think that's going to be inside the 20, maybe at the 15. And it's going to be at the 10. A fantastic punt for Edward Gogo, his second behind the 20 of the day. And so Alex Fops with 1 minute and 9 seconds to go We have a tie game here in Michigan. Ace Ducey getting immediately stopped by Mo Wacko. The Hellcats are going to look for a way to score points before the half ends. And although Ace Ducey is averaging just under 5 yards a carry, the Trash Pandas have done a wonderful job so far at limiting his production. Pop's taking his sweet time here. There's only 40 seconds left in the quarter. I wonder if he's trying to catch the Trash Pandas offside. And nice slant route there by Jeremy B to the 25. No timeout used by either team. They're both playing like it's the third quarter instead of the end of the second. I don't think Alex Fops is concerned with getting into field goal range with such low time remaining. However, they are lined up in a formation which implies they may be going for a Hail Mary? I don't understand. I think Fops is just trying to get the offsides hard count, I guess, but neither team really trying to get anything out of that final 2 minutes, and it's going to be the Hellcats who get the ball back to begin the third, so perhaps more sense to be made out of the call to not go for it. Although, honestly, if I think you're the Hellcats, especially with the way the Trash Pandas have been playing so far, your only points have come from your defense. I think you probably wanted to turn on the Jets there instead of play conservatively. We'll see if that decision haunts them at the end of this game. Ben Sports returning the kick up the middle, but the ball is loose, number 33, but it's recovered by the Hellcats. That was Johnny Johnson getting the first fumble on Ben Sports. Now Alex Fops will get the ball back, split backs, he's going to throw. He throws it deep to Jeremy B, and it's tipped away. That was Randy Straightcash playing his first game at free safety since being moved from quarterback 1. Jeremy B being covered by both Michael Hotz and Randy Straightcash on that left side. Ace Ducey up the middle, but can't quite get around the line of scrimmage. He's going to be hit by new middle linebacker 1, Davey Hopper, who since Steak Sauce has been moved to cornerback. It's Hopper filling in the middle of the field there, number 50. And Fops takes the snap, third down, pump fake, no pressure, catches it, but it's overthrown to Nelson Codmore, who is out of bounds at the spot of the catch. That's going to bring out the punting team. Richard Stretch Pull, his second punt of the day. And the Trash Pandas have been really good so far at limiting Hellcats' yardage. Oh, muffed kick by Chip Cord Ripper, and he's only going to get it past the 30. First a forced fumble and now muffed punts. Chip Cord Ripper not really up to his usual great self on punt kick returns. However, he does get it to the 33-yard line, and so Doug Gongshow can try and break the tie we have going here in the third. Off-tackle run from Jim Ratt. He gets it almost to the 45 for a big first down run. Excellent yardage for Jim Ratt, who's, I feel like, just on the eye test is outperforming Ace Ducey, but a little bit of trickery there. Jim Ratt trying to phase through the congregation of people. Looked like a mosh pit there, and I don't know how Jim Ratt was able to fall forward there for 6 yards, but the ball spotted at the 50. Sometimes you just gotta force it. It's a throw for Doug Gongshow. Not a lot of pressure for the Hellcats. That's another Scott Colonel Pop interception at the 45. And that's the second interception for both Colonel Pop and Gong Show this game. Colonel Pop has just been a ball hawk. He's been a thorn in Gong Show's side. He got a tip away earlier that should have been an interception. But now the ball's going the other way. The Hellcats at their own 48-yard line. Ace Ducey counter run. He'll go off tackle. Great block. He'll get 11 yards on the run, nearly to the Trash Pandas' 40-yard line. Username. So one of my moderators just banned a spam jot in the chat, and his name is Guttural Working Man. Oh, that is fucking fantastic. Play action. Ace Ducey trying to get Jeremy B on the comeback, but he's out of bounds. Is Jeremy B attempted to catch it? Great coverage there by Michael Hotz. I'm the guttural working man. Like, that's all I can think about, like the German BA voice. Anyways, enough of that. We got football to play. After the incompletion, 2nd and 10 still. Hellcats at the Trash Pandas 41. Not a lot of pressure. Flops throws it deep. Crossing route. It's an interception for Terry Shutcrunch. Our 4th interception of the game. That's 2 for each team now. And the Trash Pandas will get the ball back at their own 13-yard line, so not great field position. Outside pitch to Brett Smarts, but he stopped for no gain. On the Trash Pandas, that's 1 interception for Stanley Steaksauce, another for Terry Shutcrunch, arguably 2 of the best defenders on the Trash Pandas. And making sure you remember that fact. Gong Show with a 1-yard loss in the last play. 2nd and 11, looking for a pass. Hellcats send 4. Meet 4-man on the corner route to the 45 for a big catch and first down. Meet 4-man. This isn't his first excellent play of the game. That's his 2nd big catch for a first down conversion. He's becoming a reliable target for Gong Show. Jim Rat and Unicorn Grower and 2 tight ends, and it's going to be a handoff to the fullback to the 40. Unicorn Grower gets some good yardage there on the surprise handoff. Chris Furious, the rookie linebacker, tackling him down. Second and 4. Jim Rat, the lone back in this normal formation. Meet 4-man audibled to the other side of the formation. Jim Rat counter run. Barrels through Scott Colonel Pop for a first down. Tries to get almost to the 50 before DeMarcus Bacon and another Hellcat tackling him down. Watch this. Scott Colonel Pop has been enemy number 1 all day long. 2 interceptions and a plethora of run stops. And Jim Rat gives him a receipt. Trash Pandas at their own 48. The handoff once again to Unicorn Grower. He gets into enemy territory almost to the Hellcats' 45-yard line. This game is going at a brisk pace. Let me tell you. It helps that neither team really did anything for the 2-minute warning in the first half. But I feel like we're going to be like 15 to 20 minutes ahead of schedule at the end of this bad boy. It's a draw play to Brett Smarts. He gets the first down. Then he gets free even for that. Like, Toby Wright-Eason had to free himself of a block and tackle him from behind. But Brett Smarts picked up 2 fantastic blocks up the middle. That was insane. That was like a screen run up the middle if such a thing existed. You might see that in real life with the Kansas City Chiefs, who love that sort of middle-of-the-field screenplay. And Scott Colonel Pop is fed up, and he gets his first sack of the game. 7 tackles, 2 intersections, and a sack. This is a legacy Scott Colonel Pop game. Still tied up here, 7-7 in the third. In play for this game is number 1 in the division. The Hellcats looking to keep their crown. The Trash Pandas will win on tiebreakers should they beat the Hellcats to become the number 1 leader of the over here. Gong Show with an empty set. In trouble. Scott Kernelpop gets pressure. And Gong Show has to throw it away. Any more down the field and they will be within Tim Bencher field goal distance. A pivotal third down for the Hellcats to maintain a tie in this game. Gong Show still in the shotgun for this 3rd and 14 try after that Scott Kernelpop sack. Hellcats send 4 and it's a number 35. That's my boy Calvin Madman on the sack. Let's go. Safety blitz hype. Now, Gong Show was able to throw it away, so the Trash Pandas out of field goal range are going to get Edward Gogo out, and he's just going to punt of touchback. But great work there from the Hellcats defense to keep this a tie game in the third. Calvin Madman, backup free safety, who got that pivotal quarterback tackle to secure the third down. He was traded to the Gators alongside offensive tackle Paul McGormick for a number 1 overall pick in the Season 2 draft. Ace Ducey can't get anywhere on that as Zachary Battlekind stops the run. Second and 9. Flops. Huge blitz from the Trash Pandas, but can't get it to Jason Grunge, who is running a post route at the back of the field. Or down the field. I'm pretty sure the Trash Pandas sent 8 on that one. That was crazy. 3rd and 9 for Flops as he stands in the shotgun with Ace Ducey beside him. 27 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Trash Pandas send 5, and Jeremy B is able to get open, but he's going to be a couple yards short of a first down. This Michigan crowd loudly chanting for them to go for it. But the Hellcats, erring on the side of caution, are going to punt as we end the third quarter. We're still tied up 7-7. And I said in the pre-show, one of the strengths of the Hellcats was Alex Fopp's and the running back's ability to chip away yards and basically end nearly every possession with points. The Trash Pandas defense has been lights out. The only points scored by the Hellcats this game has been a pick 6 from Scott Kernelpop. Other than that, the Trash Pandas lights out. However, Doug Gongshow has also been struggling a little bit at quarterback. He's thrown 2 interceptions, and he's really largely been unable to get inside his opponent's 30 as we get Jim Ratz. He's tackled down by none other than Scott Kernelpop at the 25 for nearly no gain. All quiet before the storm here in Michigan. Play action pass. Gongshow rips it to the left side of the field, but it's tipped away. Kevin Garbo on the coverage, but he was helped out by safety Trevor Twirly-Whirl. Trash Pandas, although they were great on third down up to this point, have now moved down to a 50% success rate on third down, but that in jeopardy even more as Gongshow throws it deep. He's covered. Andy Codplayer cannot get the pass out of Trevor Twirly-Whirl's gigantic casting shadow. The size difference between the two of them was immense. Edward Gogo out to punt. Gongshow just is not having a great day behind center. And Ben Sports calls for the fair catch and the backspin. It's going to afford the Hellcats a couple extra points on that one. A ball bouncing to the 21 before being touched down by the Trash Pandas. No points at all this half. Ace Deucey stopped at the 20. The Trash Pandas, again, lights out. They have not allowed Ace Deucey to get nearly any yards. There's been a couple of times he's broken out for a big 8-yard run or so, but nothing more than that. It's mostly been stopped for no gain by the great defensive line. And Flop's now in the shotgun. We haven't seen any real deep passes. It's going to be Ace Deucey, a draw play. He's only going to get 3 yards, though, to the 24. It's going to break up another third down. The Hellcats really trying to still establish the run here, although not sure what establishing there is to be done with only 6 minutes left in the game. Flop's 2 backs in the shotgun at 3rd and 7. And the Trash Pandas have just loaded up the tackle box, and a great defense there by Michael Hotz is going to knock another pass incomplete. Which team is going to break the stalemate? Great punt there from Richard Stretch Pull, punting it out of bounds over the head of the punt kick returner. However, the Trash Pandas have a fairly decent field position. They're at their own 37-yard line. It's a handoff to Jim Ratt, and he shakes off Kyler, well, tries to shake off Kyler Borscht, but he'll keep fighting all the way past the 45-yard line. If the Trash Pandas can keep runs like that, where they just get 3-4 runs every time, before you know it, they'll be in field goal position. But Gong Show's going to throw it over the middle, and just like, man, the Trash Pandas, every single time, that slant route from Meat Foreman looked good. And then it was just a trap sprang by Scott Colonel Pop. That could have been his 3rd interception of the game. Just, you saw Meat Foreman streaking across your screen, you thought that was a wide open shot, but then, like a Colonel Popping, it's Scott Colonel Pop. What a fitting name here. This 3rd and 2 possession. Hellcats send a blitz, but that leaves Andy Codplayer wide open into enemy territory for a successful first down conversion. There we go. Nice double move from Andy Codplayer, getting out of the coverage of Ryan Tapdown. Great sight by Doug Gong Show to see that happening and get the completion to him. We're into enemy territory now at the Hellcats' 47-yard line. Corn Grower and Rat behind Gong Show. To hand off to Jim Ratt, and he's stopped by Kyler Borscht. And I'm noticing that the Hellcats are going more off tackle and outside now to just try and not have to deal with Scott Colonel Pop, number 57, sorry. Gong Show in the shotgun. Hellcats send 4, has to throw it away, tries to get it to Brett Smarts over the middle of the field, but it's tipped away. 3rd down. I don't feel like the Trash Pandas have gotten into field goal range outside of their possession that was helped by a roughing the passer call from DeMarcus Bacon. Gong Show has to throw it down the middle of the field, and that's pass interference. Gary Osiris blocking the route of Meat Foreman is going to be another huge penalty. And if the Hellcats can look back at this game and say if they lost it for any reason, should they be unable to score any points from this part forward, it's going to be the penalties that lost them this game. That's a huge one by Gary Osiris and got the Trash Pandas to the 20. Hand off to Brett Smarts, and that's going to be tackled for a loss by number 95. Who is that? That's Vlad Von Vroom, the backup right end. 2-yard tackle for loss. Gong Show in the shotgun. Empty set. Hellcats are spread out on defense. Send 3. Tipped away by Gary Osiris. The pass intended for Chip Cordripper, who was nearly into the end zone. They are definitely within Tim Bencher field goal range. However, on this 3rd down, as Gong Show is once again empty set in the shotgun. Hellcats sending 4. Pump fake. Try to get it. It's caught. Number 15, that is Jaden Dog, heading it to the 10-yard line for a first down. Jaden Dog running a slant. That gets it to the 5, pardon me. Five wide receiver set from the Trash Pandas. At the 5, lined up in a running formation. Jim Rat rearing to go. And it's going to be a handoff to the fullback. He gets it to about the 3. Trying to bulldoze Yusuf Gentle Shoot out of the way. We're seeing a lot of backup players on the defensive line of the Hellcats now. Gong Show has to throw it away. Really quick pass play intended there, but when it didn't go to script, Gong Show just said, screw it. That's going to bring up a big 3rd down. The Hellcats need a stop here. 2 minutes and 16 seconds left to go in the game. It's going to be a Jim Rat counter run, and that is stopped by Chris Furious on the linebacker blitz. As we reach the 2-minute warning. So it'll be Tim Bencher out for the field goal kick. The go-ahead field goal from Tim Bencher. This is an easy chip shot for him. As it goes right through the middle, the Trash Pandas up 10-7. With 1 minute and 57 seconds left to play, and with the not great game, well, to be fair, either quarterback has not been really playing up to their standard this game. It's the penalties that have haunted the Hellcats this game. But can Alex Fops turn the team around? And can maybe they get Jeremy B some yards, please and thank you. I know a couple of Hellcats fans are screaming at their monitors right now for Jeremy B's sake, but Jeremy B is being guarded by both Michael Hotz and Randy Straightcash. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a must-score possession for the Hellcats. In jeopardy is their number 1 spots in the over here division. Alex Fops in the shotgun beside Aiden Spears and Ace Ducey. Ahmad Card's Grave on the move. Trash Pandas only send 4. It's the quick pass to Jeremy B for a first down at the 40. No huddle offense. Fops quickly getting into position beside Ace Ducey. Trash Pandas still only send 3. It's a big reception by Ahmad Card's Grave pass. The Trash Pandas 45. The Hellcats are moving. They're quickly trying to get within field goal range to tie this bad boy up. Fops stands in the shotgun. Empty set. Over the middle to Ahmad Card Grave. Almost to the 25. That's 3 for 3 on this drive so far for Alex Fops. Where was this the whole game of Hellcats? Alex Fops in the shotgun once again, looking for the open man. He's got a streak in the middle. It's Jeremy B who turns upfield past the 15 for a first down. Where was this before? Now they're showing us their true power. Ace Ducey in the shotgun. Fops passing it to the corner. Overthrown. And that incompletion gives the Trash Pandas a little bit of a breather to try and get a personnel change out for trying to match the pace of the Hellcats. Oh my lord. A minute 1 to go. The Hellcats at the Trash Pandas 8-yard line. They are down by 3. Fops rolling out of the pocket, tries to get it to number 19, Ben Sports, but it's tipped away. A big 3rd down. That no-huddle offense was a flurry of blows. However, now that the Trash Pandas have slowed them down, they're sending 4. They try to get it to the outside. It's tipped away by Mark Swagley. And so the Hellcats will get their kicking unit out to tie up the game. Ben Cowjet, 31-yard field goal attempt with 54 seconds on the board. Cowjet, one of the best kickers in the league, and this one's going to be an easy peasy score. That was 57 yards in just under 30 seconds, folks. That was crazy. And it wasn't until the Trash Pandas forced an incomplete that they were able to slow down the game back to their speed. And so now it is up to the Trash Pandas to do something with the remaining 50 seconds left in the game. Chip Cord Ripper past the 25, but he won't get further than that as Caleb Redpayer took him down but injured his arm during the tackle. Caleb Redpayer, middle linebacker number 2 for the Hellcats. Now the Hellcats do play a 4-3, so that's not the worst injury in the entire world to get, but that still sucks. Draw play for Jim Ratt. That is stopped for a near 2-yard loss. The Trash Pandas pushed back to the 25-yard line as they use their first timeout. 43 seconds left on the clock. It's just a bruised forearm that he fell on funny, so a minor injury. Caleb will return. He's not out for any games. That's good news. Jim Ratt couldn't turn upfield. He runs into Scott Colonel Pop. Second timeout used by the Trash Pandas. 3rd down deep on their side of the field. Scott Colonel Pop moving up to say hello. Jim Ratt off tackle, shakes somebody, but is only able to get it to the 30 as the Hellcats use their first timeout. 37 seconds left on the clock. The Trash Pandas trying to run it. Don't get anywhere with that. As Edward goes out to punt. So it's the Hellcats. The time is running out. 30 seconds. Ben Sports trying to put the moves. Trying to put the moves on. Who was that? I think that was... Who the heck was that? I don't think that was Austin Flarp. Didn't see what name that was, but the Hellcats are all the way back at their 17-yard line. They have 29 seconds and 2 timeouts to get something going. What can they do to defend their number 1 overall spot in the over there division? They're going to give it to Ace Ducey, who, pardons me, is way to the 25-yard line. Not using a timeout. Are they going for... There's no way they're going for overtime. That'd be suicide. They're not going to let a random coin flip decide the fates of the over here division, are they? It looks like they are, as Alex Fops is refusing to snap it. We have overtime here in Michigan. Folks, I said earlier that this match was moving at a brisk pace and we're probably going to end 20 minutes early. Well, turns out that was scripted because we're in overtime right now. So at least we got 8+ more minutes. And the Hellcats won the opening coin toss. That is bad news for the Trash Pandas. This is 2007 overtime rules. First score, period, wins. So all they need to do is get into field goal range. Ben Sports gets it almost to the 35, jumping over the tackle of Ezekiel Paringsway. So great field position offered by that kick return. And so Alex Fops, who has already got his 2 court-mandated interceptions a game out of the way, stands in the shotgun beside Aiden Spears and Ace Ducey. Fops. Looking back. No one really open. Still no one open. Tries to get it on an impromptu. It's intercepted by Terry Shetcrunch, his 2nd of the game. Ahmad Cardsgrave was trying to force a impromptu route, trying to get open for his quarterback, and Terry Shetcrunch was all over him in man coverage. And so the Trash Pandas will get the ball at their own 35-yard line after that deep pass attempt. Jim Rat, handoff. Gets some good blocks, is rubbing off of Manderburn. Oh, the ball loose! Hellcats recover the ball at the Trash Pandas 30. Disaster! We're reviewing the fumble. There's no challenges. This is an automatic review. Dante Landros gets a huge tackle on Jim Rat, and he looks down, folks. Looks down to me. We'll see what the referees think. If this is not turned over, this will be devastating. As the Hellcats will immediately... Yes, the play is reversed. The Trash Pandas catch a huge break, as no doubt they would have... The Hellcats would have immediately gotten Ben Cowjet out to kick the game-winning field goal. 2nd and 9. Gong Show doing a weird strafe. Throws it to the outside. He gets it to Chip Cord Ripper. I think they're going to be a pixel away from the first down at the 45. Referees spot the ball at the 44, so that will not be... It will be a first down. Big reception there from Cord Ripper. Gong Show needs to protect the ball here. Throws it over the head of Kyle Borscht. It's Jim Rat on the flat route. Picks it up to the 48. A 4-yard reception. Gong Show needs to get it with almost basically to the 30-yard line to guarantee one for Tim Bencher. Jim Rat up the middle. Tries to cut in against Kyler Borscht, but will get stopped at the 50. And so this is a big defensive opportunity for the Hellcats. Any further upfield, if the Trash Pandas convert this first down, they can kiss their number 1 spot goodbye. It's a draw play to Brett Smarts, and he stopped an inch short of first down. Huge play by the Hellcats, and of course, it's overtime. It's 4th down, and it's inches. Of course, the AI is not going to go for it, so Edward Gogo's going to punt it away, making a lot of Trash Pandas fans irate. And I don't think he even got it inside the 20 on that one. No, it's going to be at the 26, even worse. Under 5 minutes to play in overtime before this is considered a draw. Alex Fops out with his team at the 26. Play action pass thrown over. Jeremy B on the comeback to the 35 gets the reception. Ace Ducey gets the first down. Nearly getting to the 45. Everyone on the edge of their seat. The next score wins. And Fops already has his 2 interceptions out of the way. So if I were him, I'd be just letting this bad boy fly from the shotgun. But it looks like they're going to let Ace Ducey do all the work with less than 4 minutes to play. No, Fops will throw it. He'll get a very short reception, nearly for no gain to Robin Banks. He's been having a hell of a time trying to get open from the jaws of none other than Stanley Steak Sauce this game. Second and 9, the Hellcats at their 45. Fops in the shotgun. Fop steps back to throw. Throws one up for Jeremy B, and it's tipped away by Michael Hotz. Third down, Hellcats. The Hellcats have only converted on a singular third down this game. It has not been Fops' day. But that can all go away if Fops can convert this with a big pass. He throws one up big to 3-5 maybe, Trash Pandas. Converging on a post route ran by Robin Banks. And that's going to bring up another Hellcats fourth down. Richard stretch pull with his 5th punt of the game. Stretch pull. Punts a touchback, so the Trash Pandas will get it at the 20. Not a lot of possessions left. Maybe this one, maybe one more. 3 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the game. Doug Gongshow just needs to play a clean game here. The worst thing he can do is give an interception this far at his own end zone. Brett Smarts gets a 4-yard run almost to the 25. Gongshow, back to throw. Hellcats send 3. It's to the side of the field. Brett Smarts was trying to do one of the most infamous plays in the Trash Pandas trick book, the halfback wheel route. But it's tipped away. And if you're wondering why that's infamous, watch Normal Bowl 1. It's a classic. Doug Gongshow in the shotgun, 3rd and 6. Hellcats send 4. Throws one up. Tries to get it to Brett Smarts. But it's tipped away. On the halfback go route. Interesting choice. And so that'll be another punt. Nobody, neither team has been able to really do anything. Edward Gogo is just going to line drive it. Penn Sports waving for the fair catch at the 30. As Mel Poopsie was able to break 3 and force it. Time is running out. A tie favors the Hellcats. They'll maintain number 1 in the division. And that also means I have to add a column to the spreadsheet since a tie has never happened to the TNFL up to this point. Ace Ducey outside, big run! Gets it to the 45 before Terry Shutcrunch has to stop him. Jeremy B with a huge downfield block. If Ace Ducey had broken a singular tackle there, that would have been for huge runs. Ace Ducey gets it to the 46. Fop stands in the shotgun next to Roy Burley. 1 minute 44 seconds remaining. It's a quick throw. Tries to get it to Jeremy B on a stick route. But great defense there from Michael Hotz. Tips it away. Normally those kind of routes burn man coverage, but if you try and run it against the Season 2 defensive MVP, well, that happens to you. Fops, 2nd and 10 now. In the shotgun with 2 backs. Trash Pandas send 5. Roy Burley turns upfield, shakes a tackle past the 50. It'll be 3rd and medium. The blitz left the left flat open. Fops needs a first down. He gets it to Jeremy B. He's past the Trash Pandas' 40. They're almost within field goal range. They have Ben Cowjet, one of the most powerful kickers in the league. They don't need many more yards. High snap. Fops throws a comeback to Jeremy B. He's only going to get 2 yards on that, though. They're in long field goal range now, but a couple more yards will seal the game. Fops in the shotgun back. Trash Pandas only send 3. Pump fake. No trial ban. He gets a first down, and that is going to be the game. Who was that on the crossing route? So we see on the screen, oh, it's a double move by Jeremy B trying to get out of the zone play of the linebacker, and Brian Bealey just isn't there, and Jeremy B picks up the pivotal first down pass to Trash Pandas' 30. The Hellcats are going to run it, get closer. And yeah, Ace Ducey getting it past the 25, and folks, that'll be the game. As far as I'm concerned, this is a Ben Cowjet easy one. The Hellcats just making a sure thing of a sure thing now, trying to run it with 58 seconds left. But if there's a forced fumble here, you gotta be, like, kicking yourself. Like, why bother risking it when you can just get it in with Cowjet as right now? Awkward Cardsgrave on the move. Ace Ducey, counter run, breaks through, first down to the 15. 54 seconds remaining. And the Hellcats at the 15. They're going to call it here. They're going to get Ben Cowjet up for this easy 32-yarder. Now, unless we see the first ever blocked field goal in the history of the TNFL, which we won't, Ben Cowjet is going to win it in overtime for the Michigan Hellcats to secure their #1 overall place in the Over Here division. No touchdown scored by Fops this game, or anyone on the offense. It's just 2 field goals and a pick 6. Of course, Scott Kirtlepop easily winning player of the game for this one, but neither quarterback can really say that they're the best in the league after this one. Doug Gongshow, abysmal with a 40% completion average, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Alex Fops threw 3 interceptions, only had 50% completion with 0 touchdowns, neither of them breaking 150 yards. This was a sorry performance from both quarterbacks today, and yeah, this was all basically done by the defenses. Ace Ducey running for 80 yards. He was pivotal there on that overtime drive to get it in Ben Cowjet kicking distance and then some, with Jim Rat also putting 59 on the board. Ducey with a 5 average. Jim Rat with a 3.1. Your receiving leader, Jeremy B, with 72 yards. And in second place, not even close, Ahmad Cardsgrave, Meat for Man, getting above 30. If Jaden Daw is up in the top 5 for receiving yards, then something is wrong, folks. Yeah, Gabriel Menace, 8 pancakes. Mackenzie Flochef, Logan Haller, the pancakes leader on the Trash Pandas. No injuries this game. That is excellent news for both of them. So the Trash Pandas could look forward to Ricky Bonbon returning for running back #1 next week, if, you know, assuming that Jim Rat's not starting over him. We'll get to that next week. And yeah, Scott Kirtlepop, this was a career day for him. 10 tackles, one of them being a sack. 2 interceptions, and no forced fumbles, and 2 pass deflections. Man, those 2 pass deflections should have been interceptions in my mind. Insane game for the Kirtlepop. And with